Hi, children. Have a great day. Let's start the session with prayer, right? Okay. Close your eyes, join your hands, and listen to me. Asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Great children. What shall we are seeing about? We are seeing about motion and measurement, right? So in this first topic is evolution of transport. How the transport has been modernized from ancient time to till now. So what are the advancements in transportations have been made? How the new inventions have performed? Like that we say the evolution of transport from ancient time to modern time, right? So then we saw about motion. Any movement of body from one place to another place is tends to be motion, and we discussed about state of rest, state of motion, and observer, right? So according to the point of observer, how the object will be in state of rest and state of motion. Then we saw about types of motion. They are rectilinear, rotational, circular, periodic, oscillatory, vibratory, and random. If an object moves in a straight line, it is said to be in rectilinear motion. If an object exhibits in circular path around on the basis of fixed point, it is said to be in circulatory motion. If an object rotates along with its axis, it is said to be in rotatory motion. Then periodic motion, in sense the particular action will take down in regular interval of time. If an object moves from to and fro motion, exhibits a to and fro motion, then it is said to be an oscillatory motion. Vibratory, if I hit an empty string or bench, it starts to vibrate. Example, strings of a guitar. Random motion, an object exhibit in different path. It doesn't show the definite path of motion. Such type of motion is said to be random motion. Then we saw about measurement, right? It is the term which is used to count something, used to count some quantities, like that. Okay, we usually use mass in kilogram, length in meter, and to determine some quantities of some objects or some fluids, we will usually use liters and dozens as their terms. So these are tend to be standard, which has a fixed number, and these standard are called units. In age old times, people used their hand and legs to measure something, which is a non-standard measurement. Here are some examples of non-standard measurements, right? So in order to make those as a standard unit of measures, in 1960 a conference has been held on weights and measures, in which the international system of units has been suggested, right? This shows the correct, that is the constant measurements for each and every units. Based on this, the world will follow the measurements, units of measurements. In this conference only, they formulated the units with constant measurements in order to use by people all over the world. That units is said to be SI units, that is International System of Units, right? So as the length of hand and legs may vary from person to person, it may not show an accurate result. In order to provide it as an accurate, a conference on weights and measurements has been held in 1960, which formulate the constant measurements for these units. So that units are tends to be International System of Units. Some of the examples are mass can be expressed in kilograms, that is kg. Length, it can be expressed in meter, that is m. And time, it can be expressed in second, that is s. Okay, so they also formulated some rules in which those units have to be right. So okay, so now we are going to see about the rules. There are certain rules for writing a quantity with SI unit in a correct way. Okay, so they are as follows. First one, a measurement should have a numerical value and a unit. How does the measurement should be? It must have a numerical value and a unit. For example, if an object of weight 5 kilogram, you have to mention it as 5 kg. Either mentioning it as 5 or it is mentioning it as kilogram, it is meaningless or senseless. So a measurement should express with two parts, that is the numerical value and another one is the unit path. Okay, next, second rule, the value of quantity must have a space in between the numerical value and unit. Okay, the value must be with proper space between the number and the unit, as we see in this slide. The first shows there's no space between the number 5 and kilometer. It is the wrong one. Okay, you have to write as 5 space kilometer. And the third one, when written independently, the symbol of a unit is never followed by a full stop. Okay, the symbols of units, the units must not end with full stop. Would you clear? So how the units must write? The unit must not end with full stop, as shown in this slide. And the last one, symbols are never written in plurals. Okay, it has to be written in singular. We should not attach s to the units, as shown in this slide. So what are the rules? We should express the measurement with two parts, that is numerical part and unit part, and we have to provide proper space between the number and unit. The unit must not end with the full stop, and the last one is the unit must not represented in plurals. These are the rules that have to be followed while you are measuring in SI units. Okay. So then, interconvention of units. This is nothing but converting a bigger unit to smaller one and vice versa. For example, converting kilograms to grams and grams to kilograms. This is called interconvention of units. Right. So children say, how will you convert kilogram to grams? For example, if an object of mass, that is weight 5 kilograms, okay, you have to convert this 5 kilograms to represent it as grams. How will you convert it? Yes, by multiplying it. Okay, so 1 kilogram equal to 1000 grams. Then how will before 5 kilograms, you have to multiply 5 by 1000. So you will get 5000 grams. This is known as interconvention of units. And in a similar way, if you have to convert the grams to kilograms, you have to divide that by the 1000. Right. So you need to convert the 5000 grams to kilograms. How will you convert 5000 divided by 1000? This provides the answer in kilogram. So the answer will be 5 kilogram. Right? In this way, the units will get converted from one form to another form. So here is the simple table which shows the conversion of unit from one form to another, centimeter to decimeter, centimeter to millimeter, like that. Okay, so this is about we saw today. We saw about international system of unit and interconvention of units, right? So note down your homework, children. Take your workbook, page number 8 and 9. And the ninth one, mention the advantages of SI system over other system of measurements. And the 10th one, while measuring the length of a stick, the reading of the scale at one end is 3 centimeter and at the other end is 33.1 centimeter, which is what is the length of the stick. You have to write the length of the stick. Okay, children, let's meet in next session. We can discuss about the later part of this book, this chapter, in the forthcoming sessions, right? Till then, stay connected, stay safe. Bye.